Good morning, children of the Most High. My name is Chukwemeka with the Igbo Hebrews. Brothers and sisters, today we'll talk about demonic possession. Okay. Now, this is a topic that when most people hear it, they tend to deny the existence. Even if they do believe there's something like demonic possession, the general tendency is for them to not only deny it, but to assume that it's not happening to them, it's happening to someone else. Brothers and sisters, today we'll talk about the different ramifications of demonic possession so that we understand it. The most important thing is for us to understand the various ways that demons possess humans, that demons can influence our thinking, influence our minds, so that we will be able to fight in this battle. Because brothers and sisters, in this battle that I've mentioned a number of times, that we are born into a war. In this war, the main foot soldiers that the devil has are demons, and the main way that he acts out is from possessing people. And so we need to be able to be aware of this, and so that we can defend against it. Now, what are demons? If you've seen my videos, this would be a very simple question for you, because demons are the spirits of the fallen angels. Demons are the spirits of the fallen angels. During the flood, the Bible told us that all flesh were destroyed, but all spirits were not destroyed, because spirits are indestructible. The Most High created man in his image and likeness. So that means we have the spirit of the Most High. That spirit is indestructible. So also these fallen angels, because they are a combination of human and fallen angels, they are both flesh and spirit. Their flesh was destroyed physically on the planet, but their spirits were not. Okay, so all this can be found in the book of Enoch, chapter 10. So these spirits remained behind, and they started causing destruction, death, influencing, possessing people. And in the book of Jubilees, in chapter 10, after Noah prayed, the Most High casted 90% of this demon to the place of condemnation, while 10% he left to report to Satan on the planet. And this can be found in the book of Jubilees, chapter 10, verse 11. So that's what demons are. Now, the manifestations of demon is something that we don't really know. It's something that it can manifest in whatever form. Okay, one demon can manifest in 20,000 forms, and they can possess thousands of people. It's not just a one-on-one proportion when it comes to demon possession and humans. No, there are demons that can possess thousands of people, just one particular demon. Now, we need to understand that this thing exists. Okay, how do we know that these things exist? You see people acting out in different ways. You see somebody get up and kill entire people. You see somebody get up, and all these wars and destruction you're seeing on the planet, these are all a result of demonic possession. You see somebody engaging in sexual promiscuity, somebody, being a nymphomaniac or something like that, somebody that is not satisfied with sex, always obsessed with sex. That is demonic possession. Demons can possess not only human, they can possess animals, they can possess inanimate objects. You need to read, in the New Testament, there are a whole lot of instances where demonic possession was mentioned. So we need to understand that this thing exists. Okay. Now, demons, brothers and sisters, if you read the book of Jubilees, chapter 10, they report to Satan. So the demons we have on the planet now report to Satan. And so I've mentioned this in a number of my videos. They basically progress the work of the devil on the planet, the satanic agenda. And it's very easy to understand the satanic agenda, which is number 1, population reduction, number 2, global domination, and number 3, to corrupt the creation of mankind. That's what demons do. This is basically their agenda. This is what they do. Okay. Their objective is to contaminate the creation of God, contaminate creation of mankind, and they can possess anyone, a baby, an old man, anything. So we need to be aware of this in order to keep ourselves clean and pure of these demonic seductions. Okay. Now, how do the demons possess people? And this is where it is very important that we understand. Because if we understand how demon can possess us, we can work towards getting rid of that in our life. And you all know that I'm not a very big fan of the writings of Paul. However, Paul was very insightful in 2 Corinthians chapter 2. In verse 11, he told us that we should try to outwit Satan, that we should not be unaware of the schemes of the devil. Okay, that's a very important statement right there. We should not be unaware of the schemes of the evil one. 2 Corinthians chapter 2 verse 11. We shouldn't be ignorant of what the devil is doing. We shouldn't be ignorant of the means through which demon can possess us. Okay. Now, one of the ways that demon possess people is through family, or what they call familiar spirits, or they call it familiar spirits. These are spirits that exist within families, and that's where you see this is very prominent among Europeans, where you see particular families having demons that reside within the family, and those demons are taken care of, and they possess as children are born into the family. Those children are initiated into the ways of those demons, that familiar spirit. So basically the demons reside within the bloodline. This is very common, brothers and sisters. Don't ever deceive yourself that this is not prevalent. It is very, very common. Okay, it is more common than you think. Okay, so this thing goes through families, and that is why if you have a serial killer in the family, somebody will grow up to be a serial killer. The demon that if you have a prostitute in the family, one child will grow up to be a prostitute. If you have if you have a woman that has have out of wedlock pregnancy in the family, one of the daughters will grow up to be that. This is why these demons do exist in the families. Whether you know it or not is irrelevant. They do exist. Another way is through contact, and I say this all the time. Through contact and rituals. There are some things you do when you come in contact with people that you may not even know that is ritualistic. For instance, if you see my video on homosexuality, the causes of homosexuality, I explained that one of the things that cause homosexuality is infection by those who are homosexuals. This is a demonic activity. Most times people who grow up to be homosexuals, they have been sexually abused by the same sex when they are young, and so that demon is transferred. This thing also happens to girls. Okay, when you've been abused sexually as a child, you grow up to manifest the same thing, because as at that time you were being abused as a child, that demon is being transferred. You should be aware of these things, brothers and sisters, and it do happen. Okay, another way through which demonic possession happens is through rape. Okay, you see people going about raping people. These are demonic activities, and they are transferred. This is a demonic activity that nobody can ignore. Another way, brothers and sisters, that demons possess people is through the television. And I know most of you will not believe me. They will all say, "Oh no, you are too a cake," but it is true. Demon can possess people through television. You see, brothers and sisters, the television you see, all those entertainments you see, they are not there to entertain you. They are there to progress an agenda. When Walt Disney is making his cartoons and putting all those sexual phallics in his videos, he's not doing it to entertain you. He knows what he's doing. The people over there, they know what they're doing. That is why, brothers and sisters, these so-called television actors and actresses, they are big-time Satanists. You don't need to go anywhere to look for a Satanist. Why do you think they flash their devil's horn all the time in television movies? Why do you think they do that? Why one? Don't you think once is enough? No, but because these things actually liberate demons, and it can infect people. Demon can possess people just by watching this. Because whether you know it or not, if a ritual is going on television and you are watching it, you are partaking in that ritual. You don't need to be there in person. Let's say you're watching movies like Eyes Wide Shut, that we clearly know that these movies, they have some satanic rituals going on, and you sit down in your house with your popcorn and you're watching it. You are partaking in that ritual, and so the demon that was activated in that activity can affect you without even knowing. You don't need to be there. Another way is through music, brothers and sisters. How many times have you heard that somebody listened to a particular music and then he went to kill people, or the music incited him to do this or do that? How many times have people lost their virginity to different soundtracks, to different music? How many times have you seen some musicians and all those ones making people to lose their virginity? These are demonic possession. Can be activated through music. You know that most of these songs you're saying, as no matter how palatable they may be to you, most of them are sung by people who are proclaimed devil worshippers, and they have to do the work of the devil. If they are worshiping devil, they have to do the work of the devil, and that work includes the work of the devil includes possessing your spirit. I mean, I remember when I was a teenager. It was Tony Braxton then. There were pictures circulating. They were circulating pictures of her nude. And those of us who were listening to that music, a lot of people I know lost their virginity and their innocence to those soundtracks. These are demonic activity. There's nothing else that's going on. It's a demonic thing that goes out from these people to corrupt the creation of the Most High. You have to be aware of that. Another way that demons possess people is through religion. Okay, somebody left a comment on one of my videos that religion is more addictive like crack, and that is true. Okay, when you are a part of a religious organization, you have a mass hysteria. You don't think for yourself. You don't use the thinking capabilities that the Most High gave you. You are part of a group. That is a clear sign of possession. Somebody is taking control of your thinking. Okay, that is demonic possession, brothers and sisters. And also in churches and all those ones. I mean, even using common sense, demons don't exist in vacuum. If they leave somebody, they have to enter someone else. So let's assume that your pastor is casting out demons. That demon can enter your body from there. Okay, they don't exist in vacuums. That's just even common sense. But the fact that you are part of a religious organization that does not let you think for yourself, that is demonic possession, because you are supposed to use your thinking. You are supposed to think for yourself. The Most High gave you thinking abilities for a reason. Okay, that is number 5 ways through which demons possess people. Now, number 6. Another way that demons possess people, brothers and sisters, is through medication. Okay, you see people going completely mad, running mad by one taking this drug or that drug. I mean, there are some in those days. What is this drug that people take for sex and party? Is it ecstasy? Oh yeah. I think ecstasy. People take these things. These are demonic. These things opens up the portals for demon to invade your soul. These medications, that's what they do. These synthetic medications, okay, these cocaine and all those ones, they open up portals for demons to possess your soul. Alcoholism and all those things, you should be very aware. I mean, some alcohol is called spirits. They call it spirits. I mean, it couldn't be clearer than that. But these are ways through which demon can possess your soul. I'm not saying that it happens all the time whenever you take any of this substance, but these are ways. Taking these things and the environment in which you take them is a very important thing you should consider. Another way, brothers and sisters, is through food. And this is more common than you think. Okay. When I was young in those days, people get initiated into all these evil water cults, mommy water cults, just by eating food from given to them by someone else. Let's say you are in school and a child gives you sweet or chewing gum or something, and you eat it, and all of a sudden you are initiated. And people can be naive about this and can claim to be sophisticated about it and say it's not happening, but it's true. It is happening, brothers and sisters. It is happening. Okay, why are these demons effective in what they do? It's because people deny that they exist. Okay, if you understand the plan of the devil in this world, the plan of the devil is very simple: to deny his existence. If you talk about demonic activity, oh no, the people say no, it never happened. In fact, brothers and sisters, psychiatry was invented to cover up for demonic activity. The psychiatry as a discipline, as a career, was invented for that specific purpose. I think it was in the mid-50s or in the early 50s that a bunch of psychiatrists met in South America, and they came up with a DSM manual or something they call it, where they define some mental illness, something that is clearly demonic possession. They will say, no, he's suffering from a rare disorder, a rare ADHD, attention. Most of these things are just made up, but most of them, brothers, that are demonic activity. So you can either stay with the psychiatrist and take their drugs that will make you more mad or more demonically possessed. And that is why when you see people who have this mental illness, they don't like taking those medications, because they know what those medications do to them. They know that these medications opens up demons more and more in their system. Okay, so how do these demons manifest itself? Brothers and sisters, demon manifests through, like I said, progressing the agenda of the devil. One of the simple ways is through hatred. When you see yourself hating people that have done nothing to you, people that you don't even know, even people that you know. Hatred. There are some people who hate men, some women basically, whether they call themselves lesbians or something, that just hate men. Maybe they've been mistreated by men in their life, which is totally ridiculous, because one man does not represent the entire men in the planet. But there are women that I know that hate men. There are also men that hate women. I actually did a video, war against the women, where you see men that really go out and kill women. How many serial killers have you heard of that just go out and kill women? This is demonic possession. It makes you hate people, especially people of opposite sex. When you see yourself committing crimes up and down and having fun doing it, whether you think you are just being young or anything, no, that is demonic possession. It has nothing to do with youth. When you see yourself being sexually perversive, wanting to have sex all the time, not getting enough of sexual activity, watching pornography, masturbation. I know a sister, a girl actually, that told me that she eventually confessed to me that she was so addicted to porn for over 16 years. Over 16 years. Almost every day she will come out in the middle of the night. She will be with people. She will just run out somewhere to go and watch pornography or masturbate or something. These are demonic activity. You have to recognize that this is not who you are. This is not how the Most High created you. This is not a habit. It's a demonic activity. When you recognize it as that, then you can walk towards eliminating it. Also, demonic activity manifests itself through killing. When you want to kill things and butcher them, cut them up, and all those stuff, and this is very prevalent with white-skinned people. Blasphemy, speaking against the Most High. Okay, confusion, creating confusion, mental issues, intolerance, not tolerating people, feeling that you are above everyone else. These are all demonic activities, and no matter how subtle or how manifested it's in you, you have to realize that this is what's going on. Okay. Now, brothers and sisters, I will not tell you a problem without suggesting how to solve it. My suggestion may not be the optimal, but at least it is a suggestion, because this is what we should work towards. We should work towards providing solution and not just coming out to talk about problem and problem and problem. We should work towards providing solution to the problems that we see. Now, how do we prevent against demonic possession? The first thing you need to do, brothers and sisters, is to believe that you can prevent against it. You need to believe in the Most High. Now, let me take you to the scriptures, to the book of Jubilees. In the book of Jubilees, chapter 10, let's start from verse 10. Okay. From verse 9, this the background of this is that when when Noah prayed and the Most High wanted to cast the demon away, Mastema, who is known as the devil, actually came out and requested for some to work with. And now he said, in verse 9, he said, let the 10th part of them remain before him. This is the Most High saying, let 10% remain with Mastema. Before this time, the devil was working alone, deceiving Eve in the garden, Adam and Eve in the garden. He was working alone, and so the devil now requested for demons to work with. Okay, because the devil has his own time. That's how the Most High have ordained it. He has his own time to act in the planet. He said, and the Most High said, let the 10th part of them remain before him. That's Mastema, and let 9 parts descend into the place of condemnation. That's 90% descend into the place of condemnation. Verse 10, he said, and one of us he commanded that we should teach Noah all their medicines, for he knew that they will not walk in uprightness nor strive in righteousness. Now, brothers and sisters, what the book of Jubilees chapter 10 verse 10 is saying, that the Most High knows that we will not be upright. If we are upright, demons will not possess us. If we walk in uprightness and righteousness, listen to me very carefully. The Most High did not say that if we go to church, demon will not affect us. The Most High did not say that if we pay tithes and buy planes for the pastor, demon will not affect us. He said, no, if we walk in uprightness and righteousness, this is what you need to avoid demonic possession. But in a situation, the Most High knows that we cannot always maintain this. And so in situations where we are humans, we are fallible, we don't maintain this. This is what the Most High said. The Most High told the angels to teach Noah the medicines. There are medications for this. Okay. Book of Jubilees chapter 10, now verse 11, he said, and the angel was telling Moses, okay, he said, and we did according to all his words. All the malignant evil ones we bound in the place of condemnation, and a 10th part of them we left that they might be subject before Satan on the earth. Verse 12, he said, and we explained to Noah all the medicines of their diseases, together with their seductions, how he might heal them with the herbs of the earth. Brothers and sisters, these demonic activities, these are diseases. Okay, and please see my video on homosexuality. I made it very clear that that is a disease. These are all demonic activity, mental issues and all those. These are all demonic activities. And what did the angel say? The angel said that we can heal it from the herbs of the earth. When you understand this, brothers and sisters, it's important that you understand that the plants that grow on the planet hold the key to almost everything that befall mankind on this planet. That is why they are working day and night to destroy natural plants on this planet. That is why they are creating their own genetically modified plants to destroy the natural plants on this planet. When you see yourself cutting trees and destroying plants and whatever you're doing, you are not doing something natural, you are doing something really, really unnatural. That is why they are working overtime to destroy the herbs in this planet, brothers and sisters. That is what is going on. That's the agenda. They are progressing. Because with the plants in this planet, we can heal ourselves of this demonic activity. We can do that. We don't know. We don't have access to everything that the angel taught Noah, but we do have people that are herbalists. Okay, if you have a relation that's a herbalist, you better run and go and begin to learn under them, because you're going to need this. Humanity is going to need this in the future. Okay, we have herbalists that cure any kind of ailment. Unfortunately for us today, we don't have them. They are dead and they didn't leave this knowledge, and their children never bothered to learn. Unfortunately, brothers and sisters, we're now left with allopathic medication that is just a joke, basically. So, the ways you can prevent against demonic activity, there are a number of ways. Number one, you have to remain upright, righteous, and upright. Number two, you can heal demonic activity with the herbs of the earth. Unfortunately, we can't remain upright. We are humans, we sin, we are tempted and everything. And we don't really know, most of us don't really know these herbs that we can use to cure any of these ailments. But there are other things we can do. Number one, we can, like I said, we have to believe that in the Most High. We have to believe that the Most High can heal us. We have to believe. It's very important that you believe. Because if you don't believe, you can't do anything else. Number two, you have to change your behaviors. Okay, if you are part of a religious mass hysteria, you need to come out of it. Brothers and sisters, I'll be very frank with you here. There was a sister that told me, that told me how she lost her virginity through rape. And when she narrated this incident to me, it was a ritual that has been affecting her all her life. And now, how did she meet this person that raped her? Her mother was a religious fanatic. Anybody that comes, oh brother, we have to pray, do 3-day fasting, 7-day fasting. She brings in all these religious zealots into their home. And these religious people come into their home, and she inundates her children with these religious people, priests, brothers, sisters, all those people that claim to be men of God. They come into their home, and one of these so-called men of God, raped her when her mom was not there. And only for her to find out that another one of these so-called men of God was raping her younger sister as well. Okay, and basically these so-called men of God, brothers and sisters, these so-called men of God, after raping her, took the blood samples from her virginity and left. That was a ritual. Okay, so it was very painful for me to even listen to what this sister was telling me. But obviously her mom is late now. Her mom died, and so her mom does not get to know the implication of her action on her children. Most times when people are raped, they don't say it. They live with that for their lives, their entire life. Okay, it took a lot. Where this sister, I didn't even know her. I just met her, and she was just blotting all this thing out and crying and everything. Okay, so these are things that parents do without thinking. When you go and bring in these religious zealots into your house and expose your children to this, brothers and sisters, you as a parent should be a gatekeeper. In your home. Don't allow any idiot that calls himself pastor, priest, or whatever to have access to your children. If you are not around, none of these people should have access to your children. None of them, no matter what. I see parents take their children and hand them over to priest or anything to discipline. That is stupidity. Don't allow any of these people to have access to your home. Never. If you are not at home, none of them should be allowed into your house. None of them. You should not because most of these people are perverts. Most of these people, these priests, pastors, preachers. How many times do you hear that pastors impregnate little girls in their churches? How many times do you hear that? And most times when you hear these things, you won't even believe it, because you think the girl is just making it up. But it's not true. The pastors abuse these children, and they grow up with that stigma for the rest of their life. That's what's going on. So as a parent, you must keep these people out of your house. It's very important. They are not there to do anything good. You must keep them out of. You must keep any individual, any other adult that is not related to you. They must be out of your house. You must be at home before they are there. If you are not at home, they must not step foot in your house, because you will never know what's going on, and your children will not tell you. Your children will not tell you, because most times when they tell you, you will not believe it. You will think it's their fault. Most times when people have been abused, we think it's their fault. These are all demonic activities. Demons are transferred when this is done, brothers and sisters. You should know that. Demon is transferred from one person to the other when this activity is done. especially on children. They prey on the innocent. They prey on the innocent. So you should be aware of that and keep them away from your home. Another thing that we can do to prevent demonic activity in our life is that don't eat unknown food. Don't eat any food you don't know. Don't have the habit of eating food that you do not prepare. Try to wean yourself out of that activity. You just never know what can happen. And this is also very important. Try to eat natural food. Okay, try to eat organic, natural food, because we don't know the herbs that the angels taught Noah to cure this demonic activity, but we know that it is natural. So if you make yourself available to eating natural things, you are putting the odds in your favor. So try to avoid, and I know it's difficult, and I know virtually almost every food we have there is genetically modified in one way or the other. But these are baby steps. Just take baby steps. Do it gradually. Take baby steps and wean yourself off of unnatural food. Okay? Teach your children to pray before they eat anything. Teach your children not to eat, not to take anything from their friends and eat it. You have to constantly teach your children not to do that. And you have to teach your children to pray before they eat anything. If they want to eat anything, no matter how small it is, they should pray before they eat it. The prayer of a child, even though it's incoherent, it's a very powerful thing. It can cast out demons. It's a very powerful thing, and that's why the devil is looking for the worship of children. Okay? You should identify sexual perverts and stay away from them. And this is very important, brothers and sisters. I know most of us have friends that do nothing but talk about sex and talk about, their sexual conquest with the opposite sex. You should identify them and stay away from them. You see, sexual perverts are not just people that look for children to molest. Those people are just, despicable. But sexual perverts are also our peers that are always focused on sex. Everything about them has to be sexual. Those are sexual perverts. These are demonic activity. When you identify these people, stay away from them. Don't let them lure you and seduce you into the activity. I know a lot of people, I know in the televisions, in the news media, they make sex sound as if it's such an amazing thing, as if it's the best thing in the world. But it's really not. It's really not. Your life does not change whether you're having sex or not. It doesn't really change your life. In most times, it makes your life even more terrible. Okay, I'm not saying that I'm not against having sexual activity with your spouse, but when the way they sell sex to children, they make it sound as if look at people, almost all the magazines, you see nude ladies and nude men, and they say sexy and all those things, as if it's one great thing. No, it's not actually. It's not. So don't be seduced by this. Don't be seduced by this activity. These are all demonic activity. These people all work hand in hand. They all work hand in hand. Okay. Avoid exotic medications. Don't take medications that open up portals in your mind. Things like ecstasy, cocaine, all those synthetic drugs. Don't take those things. They open up portals in your mind. If you want to take medication, please opt for natural medication first. Okay? If you see yourself taking a synthetic medication for whatever reason, I'm not against it. However, you must always revert to natural ones as well. Don't get addicted to those synthetic medications. Okay, if you take a few minutes in your life and research the history of the companies that are making these drugs for you, you will understand how malicious they are. Just a few minutes and study the history of these companies that make these drugs. You will understand how demonic they are. Okay. Think for yourself. This is another way we can avoid demonic activity. Use your brain, brothers and sisters. The Most High created it there for a reason. Think for yourself. Don't listen to what I say and just believe it like that. Think for yourself or run it through your mind. Be logical in the way you think. Don't go to church and they say stand up, you stand up, sit down, you sit down, do this way you do. No, don't do that. Think for yourself. These are all demonic activity where they control your mind. In fact, the definition of demonic possession is where an external entity controls a human and controls the action that the human does. This is what they do in religion. You go to church, sit down, stand up, clap, and they're controlling you like a puppet. Don't do that. Don't. Okay. Like I said, I already said, teach your children to pray before they eat anything. Monitor the kids, the children the kids your children hang around with. Monitor them. If they are a negative influence on your children, you need to cut that immediately. I know how difficult this is, but there's a lot of work cut out for us in this planet because, again, like I mentioned, we are born into a war. Okay, when I was young, our mothers would tell us then, okay, don't eat in this people's house, don't do this, don't do that, don't do this. That's what parents do. Our parents, we that are parents now, we are supposed to do even more because this thing has gotten more sophisticated. Okay, keep all these religious people, pastors, brothers, sisters, whatever, keep them away from your home. Keep them away from your family. You should be the gatekeeper. I keep on saying this. This is very important. If any of them want to interact with your children, it must happen through you. Okay, increase outdoor activity for your children. It's very inconveniencing for us parents, even myself. It's very inconveniencing because sometimes when I come back from work, I'm really, really tired. But you have to take the extra mile. Increase outdoor activity. If you do that, you reduce television time for them. If you keep your children in front of the television all the time, it shapes their lives, it shapes their thinking, it exposes them to demonic possession. Reduce that by increasing outdoor activity for them. Take them out at least 1 hour or 2 hours in a day. Let them go out and play. Let them play where you can see them, monitor the people they are playing with. You should make that extra step as a parent. It's very important. Okay, so brothers and sisters, these are things we can do to prevent demonic activity. But if you see yourself doing things that you believe is not you doing, these are demonic possession already. In situations where you've already been infected by these demons, there are a number of things you can do to get them out. Number one, you should know that no one can cast demon out of your system. There's no exorcism that works. All these things they're just jokes. You are the only one who have the ability to do that. Okay, you have the ability to cast demon out of your system. How do you have ability to do that? Number one, praying and fasting. Praying and fasting takes away demonic activity so fast you don't know. Praying and fasting, whether you believe it or not. And when I say praying and fasting, I don't mean roaming on the streets, speaking in tongues and all those incoherent things. No, not necessarily. What I mean is being in a prayer mode all the time. Not only are you praying, but you are living your life as if you are praying. You are living your life as if you are in communication with the Most High. That is what casts out demonic activity. Fasting, denying yourself of food. Not only fasting, denying yourself of food, deny yourself of also pleasures of the world. If you see yourself addicted to alcohol, you fast on alcohol. You deny yourself alcohol for a year, for a month, for a week, for a day. You deny yourself these things. Only you have the ability to do. I mean, we can do intervention for you for the whole year. We can do take you to rehab for the whole year. It won't happen unless you come to the party, unless you do it yourself. That's what happens, brothers, is that you have that ability to cast out this activity. You have to look into yourself and see the humanity in yourself and fight off this demon that you have let into your system. Okay. Another way you can cast out demon is by saying no. When a demon is prompting you to go and watch pornography and masturbate, say no. You have the ability to say no. And I recommend, don't see yourself staying alone all the time. Stay with people. Stay where people are, because when you stay where people are, you will not do those things that you do in secret, those demonic activity that you do in secret. Imagine that the Most High has put an angel over each and every one of us, a guardian angel, and your angel is present right there, and you are masturbating or you're watching pornography. Why do you think porn is so easy to access nowadays? These people they know that these are all demonic activity, and they are raining it down the throats of our children. People have cell phones and they access pornography like that very easily. Why do you think that is? These are all demonic activities that these people are unleashing on the planet. If you read the book of Revelations, in the book of Revelation, it said, Revelation chapter 16, verse 13, it said, I saw unclean demons like frog coming out of the false prophet, the beast and the dragon. Okay, maybe one day we'll do a teaching to explain the book of Revelation, but it is through these people that this demonic activity come out and infect the whole world. You should stay away from this. Okay, you should do things that will minimize demonic activity in your life, and one of it is don't stay alone all the time. Try to hang out with people. Try to stay where people can see you. Okay. And the most important thing, brothers and sisters, you can do to avoid or to prevent demonic activity is the herbal. I mean, I wish I know people that are herbalists. If you know, please document these things for humanity. We are going to need them. If you know any herbs, and you can know this thing by just asking old people around you. Most of us have grandfathers and great-grandfathers that are alive. Just ask them these herbs. What are these things that can cure? Those herbalists that we have been told by Christians that are devil worshippers, they are not devil worshippers. They still have the knowledge that Noah was taught by the angel. Those herbalists. Okay. So if you have access to them, please ask them these questions. It will be very needed in your life, and not just in your life, in the life of mankind. You will be doing the work of the Most High. Okay, so brothers and sisters, these are things that we should be aware of. These are all demonic activity that happen in people. We should be aware of this, and it's only when you are aware and accept that this thing can happen to you that you can avoid it. When you see yourself getting addicted to anything, it's only when you are aware that this addiction is a demonic activity. That's when you can avoid it. I know in the news media, in the television, they normalize demonic activity. They make it as if it's normal. When people are having sex and sexual orgies, when people are drinking and drunken stupor, they make it as if it's normal. Almost every music, for them to even have dinner, they have to have a glass of wine. For them to even do anything, a glass of wine and cigarettes. These are all pushing this demonic activity. When you see yourself getting addicted to these things, stop it. Recognize that these are demonic activity and work towards stopping it. And may the Most High of Majesty bless each and every one of us. Salam.